If a legacy is a gift bestowed upon us, then our veterans are the greatest gift America has to offer. Everybody has someone in mind when we hear the word hero. People can think of Superman, Spider-Man, or even their favorite pop star. However, our true heroes are those who have served, those who leave their families to protect our country and go to certain lengths to keep us safe.
What is leadership to you?
Well, leadership is like art of leading or managing a group of men to do the right thing.
Why are veterans leaders or heroes?
Veterans are heroes because of they fought and died for our country and maintained the peace and order of the country and free of communism and idealism and dictatorship.
Why is this legacy significant to American history?
Well, it's very significant for the American history because they fought hard in the war.
Do heroes, legacies, and leadership tie together?
Yes, without the leadership, there would be no heroes and legacies.
The U.S. Army is the largest branch in the United States Armed Forces. Their mission is to organize, equip, and train forces for the conduct of prompt and sustained combat operations on land. Those who have served the Army are dedicated, strong physically and mentally, and see strength and purpose.
Veterans leave a legacy by the way they represent a country, and it may not necessarily be by killing and taking over something, but it's the way that they represent the country as a whole. And to me, that's like the legacy that each generation that has to go to war, they leave behind. You always hear the stories of the respect that the enemy gained for somebody, because, and it may have not just been the way you fought, it may be in how you, just like on a football game or a basketball game, it's sometimes how you play the game as much as if you win or lose, or by how much you win by. It's how you play the game.
The U.S. Navy's mission is to train and equip combat-ready naval forces capable of winning wars, deterring aggression, and maintaining freedom of the seas. They are based on the principles of courage, equality, and fairness, selflessly defending our freedom and keeping our waterways safe. As a humanitarian service, they also provide disaster relief in times of need. The Air Force's core values are integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all they do. They conquer the land, sea, air, and space. The Air Force, due to advances in technology and airspace control, can attack anywhere precisely and quickly, establishing our safety. Their mission is to fly, fight, and win in air, space, and cyberspace. The Air Force was founded in 1947, gaining power in World War II. The Air Force strongly believes in morality. Because of this and their core value of service before self, they also have a part in humanitarian efforts such as air deliveries, critical care air transport, extracorporeal membrane oxygenation, and overall rescue. The Marines are the nation's rapid response force, the most ready when the nation is least ready. They are quick, agile, and always prepared. Their core values are honor, courage, and commitment. When the time comes, they are reliant on their brothers to think, act, and lead. They are very traditional. Their mantra is Semper Fidelis, meaning always faithful. By this, they mean they are not just a team, they are a family. The Marines are trained to improve the quality of life and ensure the secure future of our nation. Their officers live by the mantra Doctus Exemplo, which translates to lead by example. The Coast Guard, a military force and a federal law enforcement agency, keep America's borders safe. The Coast Guard is part of the Department of Homeland Security, protecting our nation's coastlines and ports. There are several jobs within the Coast Guard, all of which require their people to work together as a team. Their main mission is to care for those who live and work around waterways. Despite some scandals currently happening, we have to think about what our soldiers have done for us in the past. We have to remember our soldiers fight for our freedom and protect America. Generals, lieutenants, and other commanding officers are amazing leaders who leave legacies in their wake. These heroes engrave their mark into our memory and settle in as a prodigy. There are several veterans who can be considered great leaders and heroes during their time in the armed forces. George Washington was the commander for the Continental Army during this country's fight for independence. He was not the greatest tactician, nor was he the most strategic. However, he was a great inspiration to those in his command because he excelled in riling his comrades up and getting them prepared to fight.
American history is built on legacy, all the way back to the beginning of this country with George Washington. His legacy of being a fantastic general, ultimately getting him into the first presidency of the United States. So his legacy of being a good general and a good leader is part of legacy of the United States.
Alvin York was a sergeant during World War I and was considered World War I's greatest civilian soldier. His legend started during the Meuse-Argonne offense, in which York picked off his enemies with a rifle, saving his comrades. Douglas MacArthur was a commander during World War II. MacArthur led an unsuccessful defense in the Philippines, and he and his family were forced to retreat to Australia. However, before he left the Philippines, his parting words were, "I shall return."
When I landed on your soil, I said to the people of the Philippines whence I came, I shall return.
And return he did, liberating the Philippines. David Eisenbach of Columbia University states the Korean War was MacArthur's start to legacy and controversy. Veterans Day is a day in which we honor our heroes. It was first known as Armistice Day, which was proclaimed to mark the end of World War I on November 11, 1918. We will always be thankful for those who have served and show respect, no matter what day or what month it is. Our heroes did not join the armed forces because they had no other place to go. They knew what they were signing up for and what hardships they were to face. Our veterans fought hard to protect us. Veterans are leaders because they seldom have 9 to 12 type jobs. They work until the job is done. Veterans are sharp, trustworthy, and hardworking. They are leaders. In an interview, Shiloh Harris, a retired military veteran, claims, "Service members are taught core values that are not just good in the military, but in life. The Army values are loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. The acronym is leadership." So why do veterans have such an impact on history, and how do they relate to the NHD theme? While I only use 3 examples of how our soldiers are leaders, that doesn't mean the point is narrowed to only those 3 people. Leadership is found in all the principles and core values of all the armed forces. They step out of their comfort zone almost every single day. Members of the armed forces trained hard and were shaped to stand in front of their comrades and lead. Every veteran has his or her own story. Through books, families, even closed caption TV, we learn the many stories of the famous soldiers who served our country. Our veterans threw their lives on the line to secure this nation's freedom. Had Washington not led the Continental Army against the British, America would not enjoy the independence we have today. Were it not for these outstanding soldiers, our very nation might still be a monarchy or worse, a dictatorship. We owe them our honor and respect.